I told everyone to take a look at the book of Genesis, specifically the Adam and Eve story and the story of Noah. Now, those are two very big stories that have multiple events in them. The reason I specifically told you to look at both stories, rather than doing what I did in the last sermon series, where I gave you all the hints, is so that you would look at it in its entirety and really look at the detail, rather than just reading the story. Really thinking about every single detail and wondering, what am I looking at? Which is why the title for this sermon series was specifically named, Do You See What I See? So, let's see if you picked up on any of the details. For this one, I'm only going to speak about the Adam and Eve story. And it's one that I've touched on in the past. We all want to understand God. We want to understand how he can have all these prophecies come true. Know the prophecies before they happen. And even give time frames. 30 days, this will happen. In 7 days, this will happen at this location. But how? How does he do this? Does the Bible hint at this? Perhaps it does. A lot of people believe that God is a scientific genius. He's excellent at, he focuses a lot on math and statistics. That's another theory we hear out there. Is any of this true? Well, considering that the Bible talks about him being all-knowing, he must be scientific. But a lot of people tend to not take science and religion and put it together. Some people say that science dismisses religion. Some people, believe it or not, somehow say that religion dismisses science. Sorry. But if you study both, you will see that you can't dismiss either. They both fit together. God is trying to get us to grow spiritually. The only way for him to do this is to teach us, but there are many forms of teaching. He's not just going to put us out on this planet and not tell us anything, not give us any hints, no instructions, nothing, and then come back and judge us and say, well, you guys didn't learn a thing. If you take a look at the Adam and Eve story, we can begin to get a picture of who God really is. Let's take a look at this theory that everyone puts out there about, God creating the heavens and the earth. It says that he spoke and it happened. Basically, there's earth. There's the heavens. There are trees. That's interesting. Very interesting theory. I know people will argue, well, the Bible basically says that. Well, at the same time, let's take a look at Adam and Eve. Before there was Eve, there was Adam. Now, going by what God did with creating the heavens and the earth, he could have simply said, oh, you need a partner. Eve. Ta-da! But did that happen? No, it didn't. So the question's why? The other thing is, he put Adam into a deep sleep and then removed a piece of his body, an interior piece, not just skin or something. There was a specific body part that he took to make Eve. So, you mean to tell me that this being, who, by what everybody else says, just within saying and, snap of a finger, everything's created, had to put Adam into a deep sleep and remove a piece of his body during that, while he's asleep, not when he's awake, because, well, I don't know. I mean, would he have felt pain? If he could have just simply said, this organ comes out of his body. Ta-da! There it is. And Adam's like, oh, I didn't feel anything. So why the deep sleep? Almost sounds like a surgery to me, doesn't it? Or, I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. I don't know about you, but that's what it sounds like to me. So we go from the magician version to a science version within the same book, all during the creation. Notice something a little hypocritical there? I know I do. So you have to think even deeper. I'll go with some of the questions that go beyond just Earth. What about all these planets and the sun? The planets all go around the sun at a specific speed, at a specific distance, and you got specific times, but there's no actual visible line that can visibly be seen, at least not known yet, that these planets follow all the time. How does that happen? If God is a part of that, he's a pure genius. But the question is why did he do that? How does it work? We need to learn to reach deeper into everything. That's why when I brought up Adam and Eve, I wanted you to go through the entire thing and see everything that's going on in there. Because there are some things that are hidden beyond a veil. There's a visible veil. There are messages there, key hints. But God wants you to figure it out. He's not going to just hand you everything on a silver platter, otherwise we would all know the same thing, the world would be at peace, no one would be fighting, and there would be an understanding of everything. We would essentially have the knowledge of God. Guess what? We don't. We're far from it. He wants us to think for ourselves. Now this just all comes from Adam and Eve, the beginning of time. But what about Noah? Now that you've learned a little bit of what I'm looking for, go back to the story of Noah, and let's see if you see what I see. God bless everybody.